I'm getting ready for the college football playoff, but I know we're also getting ready for the NFL stuff. And we do have two NFC East teams that are going to be playing this weekend. Neither of them are the Cowboys. I don't know if you guys knew that. We did not make the postseason this year.
But we had to work this weekend.
Will not be playing that. I would say, though, if you are going to sneak into the playoffs or get into the playoffs as a wild card, shout out to the Commanders. Because you know who I would love to play in the postseason? The Commanders get to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That might be the most beatable team right there.
Do we need to change the rules? Like division winners with a crappy record, you don't need to have a home game. Like we'll let you in the playoffs, I guess. But we either need to blow up divisions or not grant them home games because like Tampa Bay is now 3 years in a row that through 14 games, they've been 6-8 and they've made the playoffs. But you don't get to have a home game when you're, what did they finish? 9-8, 10-7? Did they end up, yeah, they ended up winning the game, right? 10, whatever. Commanders going to win a playoff game. Or are they going to fart and fall down like the Cowboys would do? Because that is possible. But I think the Commanders are going to win a damn playoff game this weekend. And that's going to make me sad. It's not going to make me sad.
Here's what makes me sad is this division, while it hasn't had repeat winners, it's been a division that has had the most opportunity for you to dominate. And that's the thing for the Cowboys. Like you could have dominated this division if you would have done things just right.
The Eagles might feel the same way though, right? Because it's really just been two teams and two laughing stocks.
Right.
The Eagles might feel the same. Although I do feel like if Romo and Dak never got hurt, the Cowboys would have won the division like 80% of the last 15 years.
And they have dominated the division. I mean, you look at Dak's wins and his success against Washington, success against the Eagles, success against the Giants. I mean, he has a dominant record against the NFC East. That's why people say, well, he doesn't beat any good team, just beat the East. They call it the NFC East for a reason because the Cowboys have dominated. This division has been, what those 12-5 has been about beating up on the NFC East to a certain extent. They just can't get by San Francisco.
That's and that is what you're supposed to do. Like I guess I'm kind of a Tom Brady hater. Like Tom Brady will be remembered as the GOAT because he won all of the Super Bowls, but like I don't think he's the best quarterback that I've seen play football, if that makes sense. But they did it right. Their division was ass.
Right.
His whole career. And so they dominated it and they won the division every year. And like they did what you're supposed to do. But I think that is a part of why Tom Brady won so many Super Bowls is the best quarterback in that division while he was there that isn't named Tom Brady that he ever played against was who? Ryan Fitzpatrick? Mark Sanchez?
Yeah. They dominated the division. They had home field for a lot of those years. And so it made for an easier path to get to the Super Bowl and they took advantage of it. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. Do you guys believe that the Commanders are going to beat the Bucs? I do.
I got the Bucs. I'm sorry. I just have not been impressed with the Commanders every time I watch them.
The Commanders only play bad against us, it seems like. Like offensively, they just – when I watch them play the other team, I'm like, okay, I see why everyone's excited about Jayden Daniels, and I see why this – and Terry McLaurin goes off, and this guy has – I'm like, oh, Cliff Kingsbury, he is putting some play call together. Play the Cowboys – it's the most terrible offense you've ever seen.
So disappointing. I needed them to beat us twice. They only beat us once. They almost didn't beat us at all. And Jayden Daniels was my fantasy quarterback and led me to a championship. So salute to you, sir. So yeah, same. Every week you watch them and you're like, boy, this thing is humming. And then they play you and you think that you suck. And it's just like, how are we shutting them down?
And even in the last one at the end of the year, it wasn't Jayden Daniels. It was Marcus Mariota that came in there and was like, oh, now he looked like he should have been the starter of this football team, at least against us, because Jayden Daniels seems like I don't know what the hell he's doing when he's in there against the Cowboys, but everyone else, he looks like the rookie of the year. He looks like the next quarterback coming into this league that's gonna dominate for the next 8 to 10 years. Play against the Cowboys, and it looks like, buddy, you're gonna be in the XFL in a little bit.
Yeah, so I got Tampa winning the game, and we'll see. I mean, first playoff game, we'll see what they look like. I got Tampa, I got Baker, I got Tampa, I got their running game. Interesting. Lattimore is going to play for Washington, and he and Mike Evans have history. Yeah, so might be some fights on the sideline right there.
Oh, they are going to fight. God, they hate each other.
Yeah, so there's going to be something to that. on the opposite, I got the Eagles beating the Packers. The Packers going to be without. I like the receiver that they got hurt.
Watson.
Their cornerback, the top cornerback that killed the Cowboys last year. They kind of sparked that blowout. He's not playing. He's out for the year. Jai Alexander. So
would you want Jai Alexander on this football team? Cowboys?
Absolutely. Yeah. All day.
Yes.
All day,
yes.
every day.
Most definitely.
Okay.
No, most definitely.
He's a weird one. He's a weird good player. He's one of those eclectic types.
He's different. But I think
and Diggs isn't.
With Jair, it doesn't lead to violence, does it? Like that's the one. The guys who get thrown out of games I don't want. The guy who is just the most arrogant son of a bitch you've ever seen in your life. I want that in my corners. Okay. I love that. Like he'll do weird stuff to receivers after they don't catch the ball. Like he'll do some weird stuff, but his weird stuff I think is funny. But I also don't know him. He might be a crazy person. Arnie, I genuinely believe if Daniels finished that game, we would have won. We probably would have. So thank God for Marcus Mariota. We'd be picking 16th in the draft. Shout out to Marcus, taking care of business. I don't think the Packers are going to beat the Eagles, but I would, God, love it if they did. Cowboys were supposed to smoke them, and they walked in here and beat our ass in a playoff game. Do the same thing to Philly because that town deserves it. That town deserves heartbreak and sadness, anger, lubed up telephone pole, all that stuff. Philly doesn't need anything good to happen to them.
Well, the lubed up telephone poles only happens when they win. So you don't want the lubed up poles.
Okay, I get that.
That's when they win Super Bowls. They go up the poles. You don't really want the lubed up poles.
Well, you don't know what he does in his personal life, though.
I want Mason Glory hole.
His personal life may enjoy it. We listen and we don't judge.
He already told us what snow he's playing in.
Yeah.
Please, Packers win it.
We all silly like the mayor.